Hi, I'm Peter Haddock, and today I've got a mega global exclusive for you. Today, folks, this morning I heard about a £775 million acquisition that shocked me to the bone. It's Ritchie Bros buying Euro Auctions. Now, not just Euro Auctions in the UK, folks, but the whole business. And I've had to discover very quickly how much is involved in the Euro Auctions business. It's not just the UK, it's not just Europe, folks. They're in the Middle East and they're over in Australasia as well. But to help me sort out why on earth this huge transaction has come to play is, fortunately, Matt Ackley, who is the Chief Marketing Officer for Ritchie Bros. Matt, thanks very much for coming on.
Great to see you again.
Now, Matt, you know, the last time I spoke to you, we did a really big podcast. We're talking about the acquisition of Rouse Services. We're talking about lots of different things happening to Ritchie Bros. Wow, oh wow, this is another massive move from Ritchie Bros.
You know, auctions are a core business, right? We've known of Euro Auctions for, a long time. One of the amazing things about the two companies is just the identical approach. Derek and Jonnie, when they set up the business, they actually patterned it after Dave Ritchie, right? Derek met Dave when he was younger and saw Dave's attention to detail and how Dave ran the business. And, that was a big inspiration for the folks at Euro Auctions. And I think, when they decided to sell, right, just the two companies coming together, right, was something that we saw as a truly powerful combination for our customers. And there are some things that they, while there's a lot of similarities, right, the entrepreneurial spirit, the can-do attitude, the level of equipment knowledge and so forth, there are some things that Euro Auctions has done differently over the years that we think are quite interesting. And, a couple of those. So first of all, they take more of a pan-European approach. We like that, right? We like, yes, there are, specific sites in specific countries, but they really worked across Europe very, very effectively. Secondly, we love their approach to sourcing. They have wonderful people, massive amounts of equipment knowledge, and they go and they get equipment and they source equipment, and then they do an excellent job of making that equipment available to all the buyers around there. So you take a look at those things, and then you combine that with their very lean operational model, and it's just it's something that we've really been impressed with. And so you go to kind of the cultural comparable synergies, and you combine it with what they bring to the table, and it was just something that we're very excited to do.
And I think, Matt, what was really interesting for me when I actually looked at the business was the fact that what we've got there is a business that is run by brothers. And so Ritchie Bros is run by brothers. And, the great thing for me with that is, that cultural element, it just fits, like you say. But when I looked into Euro Auctions, today, 75,000 lots, 6,000 regular vendors selling with them, and an annual turnover of 400 million. It's not a small business that you've bought there. And they've got 300 staff in 14 different countries. So, what you're really saying here is that you are taking on board a lot of the cultural benefits, but you're also taking on board quite a scaled business that has grown dramatically over that period of time. How does that reflect in the way that Ritchie Bros is looking in the market?
When we talk about our growth drivers, right, we've talked about them publicly. International is a key growth driver for us. And we saw this as just an excellent way to, accelerate that growth, for us as a company. Second of all, you mentioned that scale that they have, but they do that with kind of a lean operational approach. And we're really impressed with that. And we're actually hoping there's going to be a lot of cross-seeding of that type of expertise that we think will, just greatly benefit the customer in all of this. And then lastly, when you look at, the customer bases, there's still an opportunity, right? We talked a little bit about this last fall, the things Ritchie Bros has been investing in, from data, from analytics, inventory management, all of those types of things, right? There's an opportunity here for us to bring that level of expertise to the Euro Auctions core customer base. And really, at the end of the day, the idea here is to improve to give more opportunities to more customers. And as we talked about before, we've really been doing that in North America, and now there's a base here in Europe to accelerate that proposition.
And you're selling an array of different things. And I know in the UK market, you're just pushing into agriculture as a sector as well. So gives you that opportunity to bring more assets to the global eyes of the audience, doesn't it?
Once again, you hit the nail on the head. When we look at it, right, as I said, international, huge priority for us because this really is a global market, right? Our customers, whether they're in North America, whether they're down in Asia, whether they're in Europe, right, they're looking to access the global market. And I think, this gives our customers greater opportunity to do that if you're a seller and you're trying to sell equipment, also if you're a buyer and you're trying to buy equipment. I think at the same time, though, we look at ourselves and we look at the used equipment market as a whole, and we're still a very, very, very small part of not only the new equipment market, but just even the used equipment market, right? So much goes on outside of the world of our core auction business. It increases our liquidity for our customer base, but at the end of the day, we're still a very small part of the used equipment market.
What's really important, Matt, is how you transition two very culturally similar businesses, and also how you put in all of that data, all that information from Rouse to deliver better services. What's going to be possible now on a much more global scale with this acquisition?
We expect the deal, to close sometime, late December, late 2021, early 2022. During these next couple of months, the focus really will be on integration. What will that look like? They've got amazing resources, amazing expertise. They've got a great brand in Europe that we'll be looking to leverage as well. I talked kind of about that pan-European approach. But what really, will be at the core is how do we take these two operations with, once again, very, very similar cultures, right? And integrate those operations to create basically more effective solutions for our customers, and basically also streamline, the day in, day out, interactions with our customers as well. There's a lot of, auction data there. We will be looking to take some of these additional services that we've developed in North America and bring those to a European audience, right? Whether that be Rouse in the rental space, wonderful solutions there, whether that be other types of data solutions. And I think that's going to be, it's going to be key to suss that out during the integration process, and figure out, what's the best way to go about that.
Matt, I think it's a very exciting time ahead for all of this. I'm sure we'll talk again with it. Certainly, you've had a huge success with the timed auction lots, and certainly this timed acquisition is something that I think is going to really push things forward as well, not just for the two businesses, but for actually the way in which people get the most value from their used equipment assets, how they manage their portfolios, and also the audience that they can now reach with all of those bigger amounts of customers. So that's always going to be, as from a seller's perspective, always going to allow them to reach more of an audience, which means more bids, which means more value from the asset. And from a buyer's perspective, when I need a piece of kit,
more selection.
More selection, more to go at. So, Matt, that's great to hear the news. I'm sure you're going to have to get yourself back to the grindstone now, because there's a lot more to talk about. And I know you're going to have a hugely exciting day. Thanks so much for joining us today, Matt. And the final thoughts from you for people listening to this out here.
I just want to thank you, Peter, for the opportunity. And at the end of the day, right, you kind of summed it up there. It's about providing more opportunities for our customers, whether they're buyers or whether they're sellers. More selection, more opportunities on the buy side, more liquidity on the sell side, right? Really, really, increasing the breadth of services we can bring to the table so that we actually help our customers, whether buyers or sellers, maximize the value of their equipment.
The fantastic new deal for Ritchie Brothers coming together with Euro Auctions. Brothers to brothers. Thanks very much, Matt Ackley.
Thank you all. Have a good day.